Okay, today we are going to discuss about JIRA tool. So I welcome you all to the JIRA session. So what is today's agenda? Today's agenda is to discuss about SDLC, what is agile methodology, what is Scrum, and how to download the JIRA software and how to use the JIRA tool is discussed here. Okay. So first is SDLC. SDLC is nothing but software development life cycle, which is a process or a methodology or a framework. Means in a software organization to follow particular guidelines or to need a particular process or methodology, this SDLC is used. And it consists of a detailed plan describing how to develop, maintain, replace and alter or enhance a specific software. This SDLC methodology, using this, we can develop the software or an application in a detailed manner, and to enhance any feature also using this SDLC we can do. And this SDLC helps in improving the quality of the software because we are following a particular process with a particular plan to develop and maintain that particular software. So what happens is this SDLC is used for improving the quality of the software. So in SDLC we are going to discuss about the Scrum. So what is Scrum? Scrum is a framework for project management, okay, that emphasizes teamwork, accountability and iterative progress towards a well defined goal. Okay, this Scrum actually helps you mainly in the teamwork. Means if any project requirement changes, so all the team collaboration is very important, and the accountability of every individual is important, and iterative progress, whatever and iterative progress means whatever we are having in a large team or epic, we are breaking down them into sprints and we are going to develop them. So that is Scrum. See, in this Scrum, here to your left side there is a product owner. The product owner gathers the requirement from the end users, customers, team and stakeholders who are involved, who gets the value to the end product. He collects the requirements from every individual and add them into the product backlog. The product backlog is nothing but, means the features is there right here, it is nothing but the requirements. Okay, he gathers all the requirements, and the the scrum master will hold a meeting, and then a sprint planning meeting will be done here. What are the features that are there will be discussed here, and what are the sprints to start is discussed here, because the product owner gives the acceptance criteria and the story points. So here in the sprint planning, what to add to the sprint will be discussed here based on the priority, and they are added into the sprint backlog. Okay, and after that, after adding into sprint backlog, the sprint will start. Okay, sprint is nothing
And what
but,
is product backlog?
sorry,
What is product backlog?
that is what I told. Product backlog is nothing but whatever the requirements or the features the product owner collects from the end users, customers and stakeholders, they are given in the product backlog. Product backlog is nothing but all stories, all requirements collected here. Okay, that is product backlog.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that all after product backlogs, after we will have sprint planning meeting, what sprint to add first will be discussed here. Means in all these requirements, which requirement to start first in a sprint, so it is discussed here and it is added into the sprint backlog. And sprint is nothing but to deliver a specific user story, because we are having here different number of requirements here, right? Here in the features we have different number of requirements. So to we prioritize them in the sprint planning meeting, and we just add them in you as a form of user stories. That is what we call as sprint backlog. Okay, sprint, and then we add them into sprint backlog, and the sprint will start. Sprint is nothing but the user stories. And in this sprint we will have daily stand up meeting. In this daily stand up meeting, we will have three questions mainly, which is what will you do tomorrow, and what did you do today, and if there are anything that is not that is stopping to do the sprint, what are the reasons for that, we'll discuss in the daily stand up meeting. And the scrum master will facilitate all the meetings. So after completing the sprint, there will be product backlog refinement. Product backlog refinement is nothing but, here we have product backlog. In this we have taken only, for example, if you take these features 1 2 3, right? So I have taken these first three features and I have put them in the sprint backlog. So again 4 5 6 means not as per the order, but based on the priority and acceptance criteria, we take them into the sprint backlog. So here again, we'll, after completing each sprint, we will again go to product backlog refinement, and then we will discuss again what user stories to add into the sprint backlog, and then we will add it here. Like that every sprint will be happen. After end of the each sprint, we will have sprint review meeting, and we will have sprint retrospective meeting. Sprint review meeting is about the product, whatever the user stories that we developed about. For example, if one user story consists of register, so only about the register option, or only about the application on, or if it is about the complete sprint review meeting, then the complete product meeting only the review will be done. If it is retrospective, retrospective is about the complete process. It consists of people, process, and the tools we have used. So what went well in the sprint, what did not go well, and what are the areas to improve in the sprint is discussed here in the sprint retrospective meeting. Yes, if you have doubts, you can ask.
Ma'am, please explain retrospective again.
Retrospective is about the complete process. Okay, in review meeting, what we are discussing about the product that we have developed. So in retrospective, what happens is looking back at the complete process, see how we developed the process, who are the people involved, and what is the SDLC methodology we have used, and what are the tools we have used to develop that particular product. So to know how to improve ourselves means, for example, to develop the register option, we have used the JIRA tool for the project management, and to develop wireframes and prototypes, we have used Balsamic, and to develop maybe the developers might be using Python or JavaScript. So in retrospective meeting, and there will be different teams of people's collaboration, right? So in retrospective, what happens is there any so while using the Java and Python, do you face any difficulties, or do you feel that any other coding any other application will be very useful in place of Java or Python? Or otherwise Balsamic, is it difficult to develop the wireframes in Balsamic? Or if we can we consider Azure for the next one? Or if there are any expertise peoples, we can consider to take them into the sprint. All these discussions will be happen in the retrospective meeting. Okay.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Sprint is about 2 weeks, or just it's a number, just it's common for every sprint?
Sprint in common, we say the sprint can happen only in 2 weeks, but it is customizable. Okay, I will show you in JIRA tool. It's based on the project manager will decide about this. Because for example, if you take one application of e-commerce where we do shopping, okay, because it is easy for us all. So what happens here, when you go for an application, you will go and search, right? So the business requirement came and we added them into the sprint. So we have to develop a search option. So developing a search option, because if you have already developed, it will be easy for you and you can develop it in 2 weeks, right? If there is any API integrations, if you are facing any difficulties, then the sprint will exceed, right, to 3 weeks. So based on all these considerations, the project manager will decide how many weeks it may take, and he will give the time for that sprint, particular sprint. Okay. It can be customizable, but the minimum is 2 weeks.
What is product backlog refinement?
Product backlog refinement is nothing but once the sprint is completed, okay, in one sprint we add, for example, we added 3 user stories, right? So in order to develop other 3 applications, like if you want to okay, let me give an example. So in first sprint we have taken register, login, and search option. Okay. And we have some more applications like search option or the APIs to integrate or the payment option. Okay. So after completing these 3 sprints, we will again go for product backlog refinement. Just give me a minute. Yes, I'm sorry. We have taken, right, login, register, and search option in the first sprint. So we have other applications to develop like APIs, payment, and delivery. Okay. So we to develop the other 3 applications, if there are any dependencies in the APIs or in the payments or in the deliver option, so what sprint to add next is decided in the product backlog refinement. It is nothing but refining the sprints and refining the requirements and adding them to the sprint. Okay. Hello. Yes.
Ma'am, is Scrum Master and Product Manager one and the same person?
No, they are not the same. The product owner is the one who collects the requirements from the end user or the stakeholders. Okay. He will have the vision of the final product and he will balance the other stakeholders. And he is the one who gives us the requirements in the product backlog, right? So the Scrum Master role is to facilitate, means the whole project, the meetings to conduct it, or to what he will do is, if there are any blockers in the Scrum team, means if any one of the teammate is not performing well, how to make them collaborate with other teammates, all these will be done by Scrum Master. They are not the same role.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, madam. What is the difference between product backlog and sprint backlog?
Product backlog, the name itself defines product, right? In the name itself, it is defined about the product only. You asked about product.
Yeah, product backlog and sprint backlog. What is the difference?
It is about the complete product backlog is completely about the whole product. Sprint backlog is only about the user stories that we have added, means about that each particular sprint only.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, for that selected
Ma'am,
part
yes.
for that next 2 week, so that
Yes.
means it's a sprint
that
backlog.
is only sprint. If product means complete all the features that is included about the product, whole the product vision. Yeah.
No, my confusion is that sprint. So next 2 weeks, so we have that one sprint. We have one that specific task to do in next 2 weeks. But what is sprint backlog? So from that last 2 weeks, so whether that pending work is
No,
mentioned in that
yes,
sprint backlog,
again
or
the
it
yes.
would be a next week's planning? So what is it? Backlog means
If-
it's a actual backlog for
No, it's
last
not.
2-3 weeks,
It's
or
not like that. If suppose if that particular work is not completed in that sprint backlog, again that particular feature goes against to product backlog, and again we will do product backlog refinement, and we will discuss which stories to add into sprint backlog, and then we will do we will start doing the sprint. Okay.
Hello,
Yes.
ma'am. Can you explain how to make user stories?
Yes, I will explain that in the JIRA tool. Okay. Clearly, I will explain that in the JIRA tool.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Shall I move from this?
yeah, sure. I got clarification. That backlog
one question.
got confused, so that's why I got
Okay.
clarification.
Okay. Yes.
It's fine, yeah.
Yeah, one question. The features in the product backlog, every feature is a user story, or how does?
Yes, every feature will become a user story when we add them into the sprint backlog.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, this recording will be available if as I have told you all, the product owner who talks to the client is nothing but the end user or the stakeholders who will get benefited from the end product. So he will talk with the client and he will create the product backlog, and all the scrum team who are scrum developers and scrum master, everyone will plan, implement, develop, test, and they will deploy. Okay. See, this is an example. The theme is nothing but all the business requirements. Okay. And we break this theme into epics. And we will break down this epic into user stories. Epic is nothing but a set of user stories. Means if, for example, if you take for payment option, in payment, so for example, this one epic one you take as a payment epic. Okay. In user stories, what we will have is payment we can do through APIs like online banking we can do. We can connect the UPIs and we can connect the cash on delivery. So in the user stories, all the options related to payment will come here under the user story. Okay. Did you all get the point?
Can you just repeat it, please?
Okay. Okay. See here, this is an example of agile scrum. Okay. So here
Hello?
team. Yes.
Ma'am, here what is the role of BA?
Here in the agile, we don't discuss him as a BA. Either he will be the scrum master. Can you all please mute yourself? Yes. Here in agile, we don't have BA. We will have the scrum master and the product owner. Either the BA will act as the product owner or the scrum master. Okay. So here if we consider this example, there is team. Team is nothing but consider me as the client. Okay. I came to you asking with the business requirement that I want to develop. I have an application already which is running on cash on delivery. Okay, so I want to start doing the payment through online. So I want the payment option in my web application. I came with an requirement to you. So what you will do is you will that is the theme I have given you. Theme is nothing but the requirements. Okay. So you will consider this theme, and what you will do, the scrum team does not know what all these are. So what you have to, as a product, what the product owner will do, he will divide them into epic. Okay. He will put them into epic, and that epic will be payment option. Okay. Under that epic, he will create a user stories. The user stories will be like payment doing through wallet. Means we will have some Amazon wallets or Mintra insider coins or Agio wallet. We will have all that, right? So using like wallet, you can do the payment, or you can do through credit cards, you can do, or now we have the pay later option, right? So we can integrate the payment option. Like that, he will create some user stories, and what he will do, he will add this user stories into the sprint, and he will develop the application. Okay, now you all got the point.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So we can say, ma'am, that Epic is a function and user stories are features, right?
Yes. There is no particular epic length. Whatever the theme will have, we will break them into epic and epic to user stories. Okay. So why do we use JIRA? JIRA is a bug tracking software created for implementing the practice of the project manager. Atlassian company produces JIRA. JIRA is nothing but, see, if in a Scrum team, if there are some 30 members in the Scrum team, okay, the project manager can't go and ask every day what each individual is doing in the team, right? So using JIRA, he can give the task to every individual, and he can track the progress easily, and he can see how much the application is developed, and if there is any lag, then he will come up with a plan and how to implement that. So JIRA is completely project management tool. Okay. And how to download JIRA software? You can go to Google and search in Google for JIRA software download, and then you will get an option like this. The first option, if you could see, download JIRA software server Atlassian. When you click that, you can you can click on the right side to the top. If you can see get it free, you can download JIRA software from there. And then here you will have two options. One is Confluence and one is JIRA Service Management. Confluence is nothing but anything related to documents. Means in waterfall we do most documents, right? So all the documentation parts, if you want to track, you can use the Confluence. Okay. And this JIRA is about the Agile Scrum. So we will select the Agile, and then we will click on next. After that, using your work email, your email, you can create your JIRA account, and you can give your site any name, and then click on agree, and you can start using your JIRA tool. Okay. Now I will open the JIRA tool and I will explain you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Will this be recording? Will you share with us?
Yes. Tomorrow you will get this in YouTube. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
The link is provided in the library section as well.
Sure, ma'am.
I have already created my JIRA account, so I'm just giving the website name. Okay.
Small
So-
doubt.
Yes.
We have to download this JIRA tool in our laptop.
If you want to practice because while you're working on the live projects, you have to create a product burn down and sprint burn down charts, right? So you can use this as a free tool. You know, there it will not download, just in the web browser you can use it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
It will show you like this. It will download. Just give it a moment.
Ma'am, this is the only tool which will be, given by the team, like tool installation assistance will be provided, right?
Oh, no, JIRA we don't install. JIRA is a free source, right? We can use it. We provide Azure, Visio, and Balsamiq, the tools used by BA to create
Okay.
wireframes and prototypes, and to draw use case and activity diagrams. Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello,
Yes.
ma'am. Whom to contact for downloading that Visio and
There is a service request, right, option for you in the nurturing tab. So go there and raise the service request that you need tools installation. The task will
Okay.
be assigned to you. there will be a form when the task is assigned. You will find the view question paper option. Okay, there you can find the tools installation form, download it, fill the details and upload it and book the slot at your available time. Okay.
Okay, so I have to refresh it first.
Yes, you have to raise the service request.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. See, after your website got loaded, you will get it like this. Okay, you can give anything or else you can skip it here. You just give a name to the project. Sample one. Okay. Also here, by default, the template will be in the Kanban. Okay. You have to change your template to Scrum. You have to go to more templates. There you will have these three options: Kanban, Scrum, and bug tracking. Okay. This Kanban is about only the visualization, but we don't need that. Only we use Scrum because to track the project of the sprints, right? So we use Scrum here, and then we give the project a name, and then we will click on create project. So here what happens is sometimes our data will be in the GitLab, or we will have our data in the Google Sheets, or we will have it GitHub or Microsoft Teams and all, right? So we can in the organizations, they will connect the data here directly with using these tools. Okay. Now we are just practicing, right? So we will skip it here. Okay. This is the dashboard of the JIRA. Okay. See here, your work is whatever work that is assigned to you will be shown here. Okay. Or all the boards, whatever you have developed and in the previous work, you can check it here. Okay. What are all the projects you have? You can check it here. And the filters related to the user stories, you can filter it here. And the dashboards, if you want to track the status of your project, you can check it here. And the teams is nothing but all the teammates with whom you are working is clearly you can see them here. Okay. And the apps is nothing but any other applications like Power BI, Tableau. If you want to integrate, you can integrate. Means to get the reports or anything, you can integrate the tools and you can use it. Okay. And this is the roadmap. Roadmap is nothing but in waterfall we have the Gantt chart, right, to track the project, where the project is and who the project is doing. So here we have the roadmap in Agile. Okay. In the JIRA tool. And the backlog is nothing but product backlog and sprint backlog. Okay. See here, you will have the sprint 1. So first what we have to do, what are the features we have to add them into product backlog. So we have to go to backlog and see, you see a plus option here, right? Add upcoming work here. So you have to click here and add a user story. So I'm adding a user story. There is a format for user story, right? As a I want to show that. So in that format only you have to write a user story. So I'm writing, see, as a let me say job seeker. I want to be able to register in the job portal so that I can create my profile. Okay. This is one user story. To start a sprint, we need 3 user stories. Okay. So as a registered job seeker, I want to log in so that I can access my. So as a employer, I want to post job. So that
So who will create all these user stories, ma'am?
the project manager will do.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
You said that we need only
Yes.
three
And to
sprints.
start, yes, to start a sprint, we need 3 user stories, but a sprint can have more than 3 user stories. Okay, but without 3 user stories, you can't start. That's what I'm about to say. Okay.
Okay.
So we have added them in the product backlog. Means in the product backlog, see, for example, in the product backlog, we have 4 features or the requirements. Okay. So we have to add them into the sprint. What the product owner will do, the product owner will start a sprint. So what we have to just drag this and place it here. Okay, 1, 2. So this is about job seeker. This is also about job seeker.
This is what we are doing. We are just moving from product backlog to sprint backlog.
Sprint
Correct?
backlog. Yes, that's what.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. So what we have to do, Epic. So we have to click on Epic and we have to activate this Epic panel. Okay. Here we have to create an Epic. So the first Epic is about register. Okay. And the second Epic is about login. Because see here in the sprint 1, as a job seeker, I want to register in the job portal, right? So here what we are going to develop the register option, right? 1 user story. And the second is as a registered job seeker, I want to log in. So what we are going to develop here, about the login. And here the search option.
Ma'am, Epic is nothing but a like keyword for
Yes,
the every keyword for
collect.
the every backlog, na?
Yes, collection of user stories will be there in the user stories. Okay, for example, if I take register, here in the register we will have different options. Like for example, in some register we need a PAN card or Aadhaar card or some valid ID proof, right? So that all these come under the register Epic only, whatever we are going to develop in that register option, like that. Okay, after adding them, we can close it. And what we have to do is we have to click on start sprint. Okay. See, here we got the duration of the sprint. If you want to change the name of the sprint, you can change it. Otherwise, you can just leave it here like that. Okay. And then here the duration, when you click on the duration, it by default, it will show 2 weeks because the sprint minimum value is 2 weeks, right? So we can customize it. Here we can customize and we can give the start date and end date as well. Okay. And for example, I'm giving it 3 weeks. And then if I want to give some goal, I want complete. If you want to just give a goal to it, you can add, but the project manager will do it. Okay. And then click on start option. After clicking on start here, you will get a JIRA board. Okay. Where you can customize the board as well as per the organization. Okay. So here we have 3 options. One is to do, in progress, and done. To do is as per the particular date, what are all the sprints?
Sorry, ma'am, I'm not able to see your screen. Your screen is stuck.
Is it the same to everyone?
No, it's visible for me.
Is it possible?
It's visible.
Okay then. Can you please once check your screen or network, please?
Hello.
Yes.
I have
one
my
doubt.
understanding about sprint is actually sprint is the cycle life cycle of the project completion.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
You all have your workbook, right? In that you will find in the 4th chapter, I think so. There you'll have complete agile terms and definitions and all. You can go and refer it there once. Okay. Today we are going to discuss about JIRA tool, right?
Yeah. I want to ask that you have created four sprint and you dragged all three on product backlog.
No,
That
I create. Oh, sorry. I have added 4 features in the product backlog. Those are the requirements that I have gathered from the client. But I have prioritized the requirements and I have added only 3 requirements into the sprint. Okay.
Okay, for all these 3 print, the time is 2 week.
No, I have given 3 weeks. We can customize it, right? But the minimum is 2 weeks. But I have given 3 weeks. That's it.
Okay.
Ma'am, but the duration will be decided by the manager.
Yes,
Manager.
the product manager will decide. That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. See here in the to-do, we find all the 3 sprints that I have added. Okay. In progress means that particular sprint is in progress. Done means that particular sprint is completed. Means if you have completed that particular sprint, you can put it in the done so that the project manager can see that and he will track the progress of the project and he will do the testing and he will deploy that particular application. Okay. So what we will do, for example, first we have to add the story point. Story point is nothing but the complexity point. Okay. What I did is just I'm clicking on this first S1 sprint 1. So here, if you could see, this is the user story. Okay. See here, the description is there, right? Here, the project manager will give the acceptance criteria and he will define the DOR and DOD, all that, and he will save it. Okay. And if you have any files to attach, you can attach them. If you have any child issues, you can add them to here. Or if you want to add any other issues, you can any issues means if you want to track it means if you want to add any other sprint to this, you can add to this like that. And here to your right side, you can see here assign. So when you click on here, it will show different options. Means all the members who are working in your project will be shown here. What the project manager will do, the project manager will click on assign and he will assign that particular to one particular individual Scrum team. Okay. So here only I am there, right? So what I'll do, I'll click on assign to me. So it will show like this. And here story point estimate. So the story points is nothing but the complexity points. Okay. Complexity points are given by the development team by based on
in case, sorry to interrupt, ma'am. In case this particular sprint is not able to complete, then project manager
will
can
again
reassign the particular.
Yes.
Huh?
No, it will go. Yes, it will go back to product backlog, and again they prioritize the requirements, and again he will add them to the sprint backlog like that. Again from the starting, you will get that.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So that's what the Scrum Master will do. He will try to collaborate with teams. If that work is not done, then again the project manager will do send them back to the product backlog, and from product backlog again he will add them to sprint backlog. That's it. Okay. Okay, let's discuss.
Hello.
Yes.
As a BA, we will be actually working on this, or this is just to know. The project manager will
if you go as a project, sorry, if you go as the Scrum Master, you have to mainly work on the collaboration of the team or the meetings conducted and all. Okay, if you go as the project owner, you have to work on this JIRA. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, now let's add the story point. Story point is nothing but the complexity point. Okay, complexity point is nothing but the development team will be there, right? So the development team, how much time it will take for them to develop the application, or how many members in the team are there, and what are the softwares they have, and what are the resources they have. They will consider all these points and they will give us a complexity points. Okay, and the complexity points here the project manager will add. Okay, so I'm giving the story point 9 for example, and then I'm clicking on, and then I will close. So here the story point you can see. Same as for the second one. Acceptance criteria, DOR, DOD after adding.
What is DOR, DOD, ma'am? Can you just brief about it?
Okay, I will tell you at the end. Okay, first let me complete this.
Okay.
After the story point, so I am giving this 7.
Ma'am, my apologies, but my screen got stuck. Can you please show me how you created the sprint?
Sorry, that will be a waste of time, but this recording will be there in the YouTube. You can go and check it there. Okay, because many people are there, right? So what I have given I have added all the complexity points to the sprints, right? So I'm taking one sprint and if it's, so assume that it is completed. Okay, because we are just practicing, right? So that's why. So I have put 2 user stories under done and 1 user story in progress. Okay, so what happens now? I'll go and click complete sprint. So if any members are there in your team, all the people will be shown here. Okay, and if I want to change the name of the sprint, you can change it, and I'm just clicking on complete sprint. Okay, see here, move open issues to new sprint. Again means because we have one sprint in the progress, right? See here we have one sprint in progress, so it will show you here where to add this in the new sprint or in the means if you have any sprints, another team working, if you want to add the sprint to the team, or if you want to put that in the new sprint, it will ask it here. I'm just putting it new sprint and clicking on complete sprint. Okay, now what we want the charts, product burn down and sprint burn down. So we have to go to project settings to your left side. Here into your left side, if you see project settings, here go to features. Okay, under features, if you drag down, you will find reports. You have to activate this reports. After activating, click on back to project. See here you can see reports. Okay, here you will have burn up charts and sprint burn down. Burn up is nothing but product burn down chart. Okay, sprint burn down chart. So I am clicking on sprint burn down chart. So if I want, see the burn down chart is shown. Okay, same as if you want product burn down, here also you can see. Okay, here the story points based on the complexity points we have got, and based on the sprint count also we can get it here. Okay, see if you want to know what is burn up chart, here it is clearly given. See number of issues completed in this sprint to number of issues to be complete in this sprint, means what is the work we have given and what is the work that has been done in this sprint is the sprint burn down, same as in the product also. Okay, same as product. If you want velocity is nothing but the amount of work in the sprint when it began to the amount of work, means how much work has to be completed actually and how much amount of work that has been completed. So what is the work left is tracked here in the velocity. Okay, we have just added one sprint, right? That's why we can't it's showing like this. If we add 2, 3 more, 4 more sprints, then you can easily check it. Okay, like this we can create the reports here.
Ma'am, so with this report and everything that you have created, now when we are completing this capstone project, we are required to complete the acceptance criteria and the burn down charts in JIRA and show it to them. So how do we extract this information and put it in our Word document? If you can just give little bit information on that as well. Hello?
Yeah, yes. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
Actually, what happens is from this we don't have a download option because the complete tracking of the project is done in JIRA, right? In the organizations, each individual will have their own servers. Okay, so the data should not be downloaded or neither be copied, right? That's why we will not have the download option. You just can take a screenshot of it and you can upload it in the document. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
And also, what kind of documentation is required at each stage?
Sorry, here no documentation is there, right? In Agile. Agile is about no documentation part.
So
In
when testing is
Agile,
done,
in Waterfall, we have documentation. Yeah.
So what about testing? When testing is done,
Yeah,
then
testing also can be tracked here actually. What the project manager, yes. See here in the board, there is a plus option, right? Here what he will do, he will create the same board for the testers as well. Okay. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, here the same will be means for the developers there will be one board created by the project manager, same as for the testers also. Once the developer completed developing it, the project manager moves this application for the testers. Okay, and the testers from there again they will have their own board which the project manager will create, and then they will track his and the tracking will be seen here. Okay.
So, ma'am, to the tester,
Yeah.
entire epic goes for testing, or every user story goes individually for testing?
Every individual sprint user story what we have developed will go for testing.
Okay, so a new sprint has to be created for the testers?
No, not a new sprint. But see, once someday, because the sprint will complete in 2 weeks, right? So what the testing team will do, they will, after completing the sprint, the project manager will add all these completed sprints into one, and he will send them to the testers. The testers will sit and check whatever the code. See here, the development code is also there in the
So then,
options.
ma'am, then it becomes sequential only, right? Because I have to complete a whole sprint and then give it for testing.
No, not whole sprint. Every application. See here, the code also you can see it here. Right here, the code also you can see it in here if it is developed. Here, what happens? They will upload the GitHub or
the GitHub link,
Bitbucket or something, whatever in whichever server they are developing. Here, they will upload it. So every time, whenever the developer completed that particular thing, and when he kept into done, the tester will come here and he will do the testing. If it is succeeded, he will deploy it. There is no need to wait for all
Ma'am, just taking an example, if there's a user login, so user login will become the epic. Then user name will be one story, password will be one story, say PAN number will be another story. So there are three user stories for the epic. So it will be the entire screen that goes, right? So an entire epic has to go for testing, not just individual user stories.
So but what the tester will do is when the email integration is completed, okay, the integration for email must be completed, right? So if the developer says that for email integration I have done my work, he will send for test, he will put it in the done. The project manager will track and send that to the testing team. Okay, the testing team will check the code and will test. Okay.
So, okay, now for the testing team to test, what kind of documentation? Because they will also have to show some documentation saying that they have tested these scenarios, right? That the test case scenarios.
Yes, they will do their work here, the testers.
So where is that documented? Where is that uploaded?
Samuel, Pravina, hi, Sangeeta. Yes,
yes, ma'am.
Sorry to interrupt here. Just answer this question. Samuel, so your question is what would be getting into the testing, right, for testers?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? If you notice, Pravina has created a DOR and DOD, if you notice.
Okay.
So basically a DOR and DOD is nothing but definition of ready and definition of done. So that is nothing but a checklist that would explain you what has to be tested in a user story.
Okay.
Okay. So basically the testing team will look at what is a checklist. With that, they will do the testing. And as you said, user stories are tested or sent for testing. Eventually, that is a feature, right, Samuel? Because feature is a bigger user story. You agree?
Yeah.
So if I'm testing the user stories, am I not testing the features?
Correct.
Right? So talking about the documentation, Samuel, Agile is all about flexibility, right? Some companies do have documentation, I do agree. But some companies don't. So only thing here is, in Agile, there is no rule key, you must have documentation. It is optional. But if your project demands documentation, Samuel, you are more than welcome. Please have documentation. It's not like waterfall wherein you cannot go forward without documentation, right? Agile does not say that. Eventually, what we need is work done. You getting it, Samuel?
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Pravina, one thing. Before you close the session, Pravina, just if you can open a user story, just show them how to write acceptance criteria.
Yes, ma'am.
And also show them a DOR and DODM. It will be very helpful for them.
In again, I have to create a sprint and I have to add that, right?
Just show one and because
Here,
it's important for them. Yeah. Just yeah.
In the user
So
story.
sorry, I have a doubt. So the DOR acts as the checklist or the acceptance criteria?
Is it acceptance criteria? Here are the steps here, Sujit. DOR is a checklist. That is different. This is different. That is why I asked her to just create one. She will just create one. I think that will be useful for you.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Pravina, once you're done with the whole JIRA process, just explain the account acceptance criteria, DOR and DOD. It will be very, very helpful for them. Okay.
Ma'am, here it's just adding in the description only, right, ma'am? Acceptance
Yes. Just explain them, take one example and show them the whole process, like how to write it. And
okay, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Just give me a minute. Okay. Can you all please mute yourselves? So acceptance criteria, you can all hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. So acceptance criteria is given by the stakeholders. So it is just based on prioritizing the requirements and all. So I'm just giving a random number. Means I'm giving the highest priority to the requirement for search option. Okay. As a job seeker, I want to search for jobs so that I can, okay, for search option, I'm just giving the highest priority because I want first the search option. So I'm giving acceptance criteria 9 and DOR, definition of ready. So what needs to get ready? Okay. So First, for the search option, what are the user stories required? Okay, will the search option need to browse it, or we need a search option for that? Okay, and the also the DOR for story points, accepted or not to develop. Okay, and the test devices, whether they are ready or not. All these means what, when we are adding to sprint, from product backlog to sprint backlog, when we are adding the user stories, in between that there will be a definition of ready. It means a checklist for all the checklist for the sprint. Okay, what all to be completed, what all are required, whether the particular thing is there or not, for testing, deployment, or if any user stories to add for that sprint, or if any team members needed, all these will be checked in the DOR. In DOD, what happens is, in DOD, definition of done is defined after the completion of this sprint. Means, does it have the criteria met, acceptance criteria met? Means acceptance criteria is nothing but when the stakeholder has given a requirement, whether that requirement is met or not is checked here in the DOD. For example, if I gave a search option, I have given a requirement that I need a search option. See, for example, if you could see here in the top right, your search option is there. Whether I need a search option like this, or just I need the only icon here, or instead of here, whether I want to add it here in the profile option, the search option. So how my business requirement is, whether that it has met that particular criteria or not is checked in the DOD. And if any designs like UI UX designs are perfectly met or not is checked here. Okay, and development and the testing, whether the testing is 100% completed or not. Everything, whatever we have given in the DOD, the story points or the test devices are there or not, all these. If we have in DOR, it means it will meet the criteria of DOD, right? So everything is interlinked here. Like this, we have, like this, the project manager will write DOR and DOD just to meet the sprint criteria, and to complete the sprint in the stakeholder requirements, we need DOR and DOD. The project manager will do that. Okay.
So, ma'am, one question. DOR will be given by the project manager. DOD should be given by the testing team, right?
No,
So,
no, it's not by the testing team. What the project manager will do is he will do a checklist, right? DOD is nothing but the checklist, whether that part before sprint, whether everything is there for the sprint to do or not. Okay, whether it has business value, or it has the development team clearly well defined or not, or the user stories clearly explained or not, whether it will achieve in the sprint or not, or whether it can complete the testing, the measurable testing we have done or not, or if any dependencies are identified, whether they are identified or not, will be given in the DOR. And after doing DOR, the sprint will start. Okay, so in DOR, what happens is he will check all the requirements, and if everything is okay, the sprint will start. After sprint ends, he will check the DOR, whether it has met the business value, whether it had the business, whether it had met the requirements of the client or not, whether all the development team worked or not, whether it has achieved in the single sprint or anything left in progress. Everything is tagged in the DOD. That's it. It is a checklist. DOR DOD is a checklist. Okay.
all right, thank you.
So DOR is before sprint begins,
yes,
applicable, and DOD is after sprint.
After sprint, yes.
Yeah, ma'am, hello.
Yes.
Yeah, few minutes back you have explained about these reports now.
Yes.
Yeah, in that reports, what is the report of velocity?
Velocity is nothing but, just give me a minute. Here you are asking about this, right? See here in the velocity report only you will have the definition. The amount of work in the sprint when it began to the amount of work done during the sprint. Means, for example, if we have started the sprint, okay, whether that part not only about the sprint, it can be about the product as well. Okay, that the starting goal, whether we have achieved or not, or what has left is the velocity.
So, ma'am, what is sprint burn down chart?
Sprint burn down is that each individual sprint. Okay, here we have taken the sprint count and the date. Okay, if you want to change, you can change it here and you can check it. The story points or the issue counts like that, you can change and you can see whether that it has completed or not. Number of issues left to complete the sprints to the ideal chart.
Ma'am, what is the difference between story point and issue point?
Issues are the user stories. Okay, story points are the complexity points, which the developer gives. Okay.
What is acceptance criteria?
Acceptance criteria is given when then situation. Okay, that the project manager will give, because when we have given a condition that it should satisfy the product or user story. Let me tell an example.
I didn't get it.
Yes, let me tell an example for you.
Meanwhile, in the example, you selected 9. So on what basis like that 9 will be given?
Sorry?
In the given example, you updated in front of acceptance criteria 9 value, I believe. Where you were explaining DOR, DOD.
Dev, homework karo beta. Please mute yourselves, please, others. Actually, the acceptance criteria, the project manager, for all to understand, he will give it in the points format, but he will write on his own, right?
That is priority, right?
Yes.
That is priority.
So this acceptance criteria point is given in a Fibonacci series, like how you give.
So it's based on the project manager's decision.
Okay, then where do you use the Fibonacci series for the priority of the user story, right?
Yes.
But what exactly that acceptance criteria is representing?
Hello. Guys, are you able to hear the voice?
No, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
we can hear it.
Okay.
And ma'am, 1 second. Mahendra, I guess you need to switch off your camera.
Okay, guys. So someone was asking me some questions, right, Praveena? What are those questions?
I just want to clarify about acceptance criteria.
Acceptance criteria is, let's assume you have a user story, right, Shivam? What basis will you accept? When do you know that user story is completed, or probably what makes it completion? Like, for example, if you cook a curry, right? Till it is not cooked, you will know it, right? So the same process, from the start to the end, whatever is the process, that is called as acceptance criteria. What is called as accepted for this user story?
Then, ma'am, what is the ranking given? Because she had mentioned a number 9 against acceptance criteria? What is that? And
No,
how
but
is that different from the priority of the sprint? Because priority
not
of the
on
sprint,
the acceptance criteria, Samuel. It is all based on the priority of the user story. How important is that user story? What business value? We don't give priority for acceptance criteria.
okay, because priority is given on a basis of the Fibonacci series, right?
That
Or
is one of the techniques, Samuel. It is only one of the technique used.
okay.
Fibonacci series is one of the technique used to identify the importance of the user story. We have multiple techniques available in the market, and what the company is all depends on their team. The team. There's no like one standard technique the industry uses. All depends on their convenience.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Ma'am,
Yeah,
can you hear me?
Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Hello.
Ravina, actually,
So,
Now,
ma'am, you showed us the sprint backlog chart. Then, which one should we consider as a product backlog or product rundown chart?
You have the burn-up charts, right?
Okay, so burn-up chart.
charts are considered as the product burn-down charts.
Right. So once we complete this sprint here in the backlog, after that, when we go into reports along with the sprint backlog, sprint burn down, do we also be able to see the product backlog or
Yes,
product burn down
parallelly you can
chart?
see. Means it is adding value to the product, right? So you can see that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So can you just show me one over here as we have added the sprint?
Sorry?
Can you go to the reports page and show the burn up report just to have a view of it?
This is burn-up
Right.
chart. Okay.
Okay.
This is burn-up chart.
And in the capstone project, we are required to put sprint burn down and the product burn down as well. So we can show the burn up chart as a product
burn
burn.
down. Yes, you can.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it the acceptance criteria is the same, the client requirement, what we gather in the waterfall method?
Okay, let me explain clearly about acceptance criteria again. So acceptance criteria is mainly about clarifying the stakeholders' requirement. Okay, means to give a clear idea to the development team, but that the project manager will have in his mind. Okay, the acceptance criteria will be in a format of given.
Excuse me, I understand this. What is the format of acceptance criteria that I'm
No,
clear
I'm
with?
giving.
What I'm asking is it the same equivalent business requirement what we gather in the waterfall method, the same we are doing in the agile with the acceptance criteria? Is that?
Yes, with the acceptance criteria, so that we have a clear idea of the requirement. Okay, let me give an example. Okay. Here the user story is to recover the password. Okay. Let me write it here. User stories to recover the. Okay, let me take a notepad each time.
Will the acceptance criteria gets visualized in this JIRA? I mean, in this software?
Yes, the project manager will do it manually.
Manually.
Yes,
It
the
will
project
be
manager.
told by manually, not on the system. So there is no any
No,
block.
he will add to the system.
Where it will be shown.
See here in the description, I have shown you right in the starting.
Oh,
While
actually,
adding the
I did not. I missed actually.
Okay, then once you go back to the recording, there I have shown you when adding the complexity points, there he will add the acceptance criteria. Okay.
Based on that, we will write the user story.
Yes.
Complexity points in the sense in which way they are.
Story points as the developers will give us, right? So I'm explaining about acceptance criteria. So the user story. User story is to recover the password. Okay. So what happens is in this, we will have a given, when, and then format. Okay. So what we have to given, what is the scenario here? He has forgot the password. So the given must be the user navigates to login page. Means he will be redirected to the login page. Okay. When he will be redirected, when he clicks on forgot password option. Okay. And after, what happens when he click on the forgot password option? When he goes to the login page, there he will find the forgot password option. When he click that, either he will get a email for validating his password, or he will get an OTP. So we can write that. And then what happens? The system will verify OTP or the email that has been sent, and then he can be able to recover his password, right? Like this, we will write the acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria is nothing but a detailed description of the user story. That's it.
So this acceptance criteria will be given by the project manager.
Yes, the project manager.
PA has got no role to
Yes.
write this acceptance criteria in a real-time.
You know, the Scrum Master won't do that. Okay.
Story
So,
point.
I have a question over here in the acceptance criteria format that you just showed.
Yes.
Is that a general format that is
Yes, it is
followed
the general.
everywhere?
Yes, it is a
The
general format.
when,
Yes.
given, when, and then, and.
Yes, because it is clearly explained right here.
Yeah.
Means
So,
what is given here, what happens, and what is the
Mhm.
result. It is clearly explained. It is
Yeah.
a generic format. You can read.
Yeah, that's right. So I have used the same format in my capstone project, but my mentor said that that is not necessary. I can just write straight away. So is it not acceptable? I mean,
No,
I'm a
not
bit
in.
in a confusion because I was told otherwise.
It is
when,
not
I was
mandatory.
mentored.
Okay, it is not mandatory. The project manager, based on the organization, if it is needed, he will write. Otherwise, no. It
But
is
then
not
if
mandatory.
I'm in a project, if I write it in this format, in the BDD format, then it is acceptable, right?
Ah, yes,
It is not like I'll have to change the
Ah,
answer.
yes, it is acceptable.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, that is all about JIRA.
Ma'am,
Yes.
what is in the roadmap section?
In the roadmap, I have showed you, right? In waterfall, we have the Gantt chart, right, to track the progress of the project. Same as here, we have in the place of Gantt chart, we will have the roadmap in JIRA too.
Who will design this roadmap? I mean, who will actually
There is no.
plan this roadmap?
Yes, the design. It is not designed. It is by default. The roadmap will be given by default. Whatever we added here in the sprints, it will show you here. Okay, so today, if I click on today, you can see what happened in today. Today sprint 1 and sprint 2 is completed. So in weeks, if you take in weeks, so what we have done per day, in the month,
But in
like,
Gantt
same
chart,
as in Gantt chart.
No,
Yeah.
but in Gantt chart, it not only monitors, I mean, it not only shows the present and past data, but you also give an input for the future perception things also, no?
No, it's not given for the future perspection. The Gantt chart also will be updated day by day, right?
I'm not so clear because Gantt chart is something where we also create a milestone for any project. That is what, according to my understanding so far. It is not only the present, but we first write the timeline of the given requirement or whatever the project.
Okay. See here, the Gantt chart is actually about the time planned for the work, right? So here in the
Exactly.
Gantt chart, what happens? We will have the particular duration given. For example, if you take, you have got a project of 12 months, 1 year. Okay. Here in the Gantt chart, all the 12 months will be defined. So what happens
Yes.
there, in which month who has to do the work is clearly we can mention it there. But whereas we come to agile, we can't define that. Every sprint changes and every day some work progress will be done, right? So here there is no particular final defined path here, but in Gantt chart we can define it.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
My doubt was that only, but it's not the same exactly, right?
Yes.
This only will give the picture what all we have done so
Yes,
far,
we have
right?
done. Yes, in agile we have that. In Gantt chart, the final date is in waterfall. We have the final date given, right? That's right.
Ma'am, how do you define the timeline of a sprint? There must be some estimation, right?
2 weeks, 3 weeks, and all.
Yeah.
The project manager will decide it. That's why he will write the acceptance criteria, DOR and DOD. See how
So
much
the
time.
timeline is
Yes.
also mentioned in
Yes,
the
in
DOR.
DOR. Yes, in DOR, he will check how much time will the sprint takes, or it has any issues. Issues means it has any child issues or not. All this will be discussed.
So, ma'am, acceptance criteria,
So,
DOR
but
and
how
DOD is
will
defined
he?
at the sprint level or at the user story level?
Can you please come again?
The acceptance criteria, DOR and DOD, it's defined at the sprint, epic, or user story level.
At the sprint epic level, means before starting of the sprint.
So how will the product owner come to know how long will be the sprint? Like how will he decide that this particular sprint will take 3 weeks, and
based on the complexity points and the business value, he will decide. Because the
so
stakeholders
is there any guideline? Is there any guideline that we have to follow, or is it just according to his experience that he will decide?
We have all the meetings conducted, right? He will sit with the development team and he will decide, okay, there is a feature, how much time will it take for you to develop, and what is the complexity points you are going to give, and he will sit with the stakeholders and how much need you have with this feature and what is the priority you give, and with all this he will come to the conclusion.
Right, okay, so it's after all due discussions.
Yes.
Okay.
Ma'am, you were giving points to stories like 9 and 7. So based on what we will give the points to stories, basically?
The story points are nothing but the complexity points given by the development team. Okay. Based on the development team availability and the complexity of that particular feature to develop and the resources they have, all that will be taken into consideration, and then they will add the complexity.
Okay.
How can we show business value in this JIRA software?
We don't show that. As we are adding sprints, right? Sprints directly adding, we are collaborating the business value.
Okay, so the sprint value that we put in is ultimately the business value. Yes. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so then the complexity point, I'm getting confused here. What exactly it is showing? That
complexity point is for the developers.
Okay, so they will be adding. But why I'm asking you this question is because I am in this whole process of completing this workshop. I'm at a stage of project captain project, and I've been asked to redo it, and that's why I'm attending this session again to have a bit more clarity. So there's a question where we have to write in the user stories, acceptance criteria, business value, and the complexity point. And I've been told that I need to use JIRA too. So likewise, I asked you earlier that I have to take a screenshot of this. So in the screenshot, it will not be mentioned that there's a complexity point or business value point. So I just need to understand whether I have to write it separately or
you can include them in the user stories. Okay.
Okay. In the description box.
In the description box, there is a format right below down for the user story. Yeah. Now you can write in this.
Oh, thank you.
Ma'am, how to edit the sprint?
How to?
If I want to make any changes in the sprint that I have created for 3 weeks, if I have to make it, I have to extend it.
Then how do I do that?
No, how much work you have completed in the sprint is defined before. If you did not complete the sprint within 3 weeks, again it will add into product backlog. Again, a refinement will be done, and then again it will come back to sprint. Okay, whether if it is in progress state, okay, again it will come back to it. Product
So, ma'am,
backlog
how
will-
do you move the user story which is not completed in the sprint back
See,
into the
after
project?
when we, I have
Can you show
shown,
that?
I have shown you previously when we click on the complete sprint option. Okay.
We'll go to the new sprint again.
Yes, it will show on the new
Ma'am, can
sprint
you just show
option.
that once, please? I'm not
Again, I have to create a sprint for that.
No, but okay. There is one sprint in progress, right, over here. In this
Yes, in this we have just put one sprint. When we click on complete sprint, it will give an option. Okay, 2 sprints completed, 1 incomplete. You want to add that into the new sprint.
Can you
It
show
will
that, ma'am?
add.
Where is it? Can you show?
Again, I have to start from the first. Okay, if you could go and once see the recording, you will find that because many people are there, right?
Okay, but do we have time, right, till 1 o'clock? And I think you finished, right? Or
Yes,
there's still more to
because others might be having doubts, right? That's why.
I also think the same. I mean, if you could please repeat the process once quickly, so that we'll have a understand. I mean, better understanding again.
Just give me a minute.
Thank you.
See here again, I'm adding creating issues. Okay, like this, I have added the 3 sprints and I'm adding them and I'm creating a bit. So I'm starting the sprint. You all can see the screen, right?
Yes.
So I'm see here to your right side, I'm clicking on sprint. See here, the sprint contains 2 completed issues and 1 open issue. 1 open issue is nothing but which is in progress. So I'm clicking on, I will send that more open issues to new sprint, and then I'm clicking on open sprint. That's it. Okay. It will again go back to another sprint. Okay. That's it.
Like you have given the numbers 9, 7. So on
Those are
on
the
what
complexity points. Those are the complexity points. Story points are nothing but the complexity points. Okay.
Okay, ma'am, here you've created 3 epics: register, login, and search.
Yes.
Now these 3 user stories are in which epic?
1 user story in 1 epic. If you have any child issues in each user story, you can address there in the user story.
All right.
In the description.
Child issues means what, ma'am?
If there are any dependencies.
Example?
For example, if you take for payment option, okay, you want to integrate bank, right, with UPI payments or online transactions, or if you want to integrate what do we say, the card, debit cards and credit cards and all that we'll have, or right, or for example from Mintra. Okay, we all know Mintra online shopping app, right? So from Mintra, if we buy, we have the Flipkart pay option, pay later option. Okay, so from Mintra to Flipkart pay later option, we have an issue here. Means we have to integrate that, which we did not expect, right? So it will become as a child issue to that. The dependencies, which we did not expect, we can add them to the child issue.
Again, ma'am, sorry, I may be repeating myself, but the acceptance criteria is defined at the sprint level or at the user story level?
That's a user story. Okay. Yeah, that's it about JIRA. Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, I want to know about velocity, how it is calculated.
Velocity is nothing but the completion. Okay. Means we will have an estimate time, right? To
Yeah.
complete that. So how
Is
much?
it in percentage or like how it is calculated?
There is a velocity report option there. I have shown you before. So when you go and see the recording, you'll find it. Okay.
Thanks, ma'am. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you help how interview will ask about agile or agile process?
This is about JIRA tool, not about Agile.
JIRA. Sorry, JIRA.
Yes, he will, based on your project which you have worked, they will ask questions.
Okay.
Yeah, just one question. What is the difference in that Scrum and JIRA?
Sorry?
What is the difference between Scrum and JIRA?
JIRA is a project management tool. Scrum is different.
Yeah, what is the difference?
Did you study about the Agile framework and Scrum?
Yeah.
Then what is Agile?
Yeah, Agile is that deliverables are given in the very frequent in nature, and it's that we can do the amendments in
Okay,
between
leave
the
it,
project.
leave it, leave
Yeah.
it, leave it. Sorry. Yeah. The Scrum is only about the teamwork and the amount of work done. Okay. JIRA is different than the Scrum. Scrum is a framework or the methodology that we use. Project JIRA is a tool that we track the progress. That's it.
Yeah, in Agile methodology, so that Scrum is a philosophy, and that the JIRA is the tool, right?
Yes.
So JIRA can be used only for Scrum and not for any other SDLC methodologies, right? To track.
Yes, you can use it for Agile.
Other Agile
Yes.
methods
Yes.
apart from Scrum. Okay, all the Agile methods can be
tracked through JIRA.
JIRA. Okay. Ma'am, some generic doubt, like when will they assign the next project for the ones who has completed the Capstone 1 project?
Capstone 2 will be automatically assigned to you. If you go and check in the task, you will get.
As of now, only one row is reflecting, that is why.
What is, may I know what is reflecting there?
Only one first Capstone project is
it
reflecting.
still showing under pending?
Yeah, pending validation. Yes, yeah.
Yes, means you did not complete the prep one. You have to complete the task first.
Okay, so after the mentor does the validation, and
then
that
only
is
prep 2 will be assigned to you. Step by step will be.
Okay. Meanwhile, ma'am, is it possibility that students can interact with each other? I know that we are talking to you and clarifying the doubts, but can we get the students' contact so that
No, sorry, we don't.
No, like now the ones who's completed, like whoever in the call or something like that, can we interact with them?
No, we don't give like that. CYPD don't encourage like that.
Okay, students should not talk to each other at all.
Yes.
Okay.
But ma'am, now we are all, studying online. Then you can make it out that, we will not be able to talk to each other.
No,
But
if
what
anything,
if there will be offline classes? Then, initially, I guess in Pune and Hyderabad, it was live class, right? So in that class,
Yeah.
everybody can talk to each other. So how can you control it? And I'm sure very soon, Pune live classes will be started.
Just give me a second. Just give me a second, Ankita. If anything happens, because you want to interact through online, if anything happens, again, you will come to blame COEPD. That is why we don't encourage and we don't share other participant details. Okay. Because there is a positive and negative side. You only look at the positive side, but if anything happens in a negative way, again, we have to take the blame of it. So that's why we don't encourage, and we that mention that point clearly in the nurturing induction as well. COEPD don't and never encourage WhatsApp groups. So if anything happens, it's up to your interest, but we don't encourage from our side. That's why. If you need anything related to the subject, you have the mentors will be taking the evaluation, right? They will tell you the points, you can clarify. And if you have anything related to BA concepts, you can attend the doubt clarification session. If anything related to the nurturing, you have nurturing induction sessions. And if you have anything related to the portal, you have service request feature. So in every step, you have everything services provided by COEPD to complete this nurturing process, right? So there is nothing to interact, means everything is given to you from our side. So if you want to interact with other students, it's up to your interest, but we don't encourage. And if anything happens, please don't blame COEPD. That's it. That is our intention. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just one general question. So my 2-3 friends interacted to me. So they wanted to join offline classes. So just wanted one question. So are you planning to start?
Please raise the, if you have any related to process or anything to portal, please raise the service request. There you will get your doubts clarified. Okay.
It's not answer of my question.
I don't know that, right? I'm not the
Then you can say that
process
way.
handling, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So
Thank
you raise the service request, there you will get your answer clarified.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for your
Okay.
time.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Is the session going to end now? Are we carrying on further?
It's completed. If you want, you can go. Leave. There is nothing.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, the JIRA session is completed, like it was one and only session today, or it will be like on next weekend also?
Next weekend we have some other session. Once go to library section and find the time to do that. Okay. Not
Okay,
JIRA.
ma'am.
I think.
Yeah, there is a list in which
Yes,
different.
SQL, Power BI, Tableau. Out of these three, you will have one session. The
So
timetable is
JIRA
in
is
the.
completed today,
Yes,
right?
yes, JIRA is
Whatever
complete.
was in JIRA, it was covered today.
Yes, it is complete.
Okay, ma'am.
The session is over. If you have doubts, you can ask or you may leave. Thank you.